Do you want to save your data on the browser that doesn't go when you refresh your page? Hey everyone, welcome to the 6th day of JS in 30 day series, and in this video we will learn about local storage and how you can use it in your app to store the data. So without wasting no more time, let's go to the code. Talking about the local storage, there are about three types of storage options. One is the local storage, other is the session storage, and the last one is the cookie. If we just briefly see the difference between all of these three, then I have just write it down. You can see on the screen that if we talk about the feature, so local storage has the storage limit of about 5 to 10 maybe megabyte and MB, and the session storage has it around 5 MB, and the cookie has it just the 4 KB per cookie. Local storage and session storage are almost the same, but the difference is the expiration of these two. So local storage doesn't expire whether you just switch on different tabs or you just open or close the different tabs or windows. It will stay persistent in the browser, but in the session storage it just expires as soon as you just close that tab or window. And the cookie, it can be set with specific expiration date. So this is related to the expiration, and this is one of the main part of differentiation between the three. Third is the scope. So the scope, it's just similar to expiration, that it is only available to that the local storage is always available to all the tabs and windows. Session storage, it is only available in the current tab or window. It's not available in the other. And the cookie is sent with every HTTP request to the server. So local storage and session storage are a bit similar in the approach and the kind of data they deal with, but cookie is a bit of a different thing. Next is the data access. So we can actually take the data in both local storage and session storage via the JavaScript. But for cookie, it can be taken available and accessible with the JavaScript and also with the server request. Security, local storage data is usually visible, like as a developer we can just go and check, and session storage is also, it's visible. So you cannot store something like very vulnerable for your application, like password or something, to the local or session storage, because that will eventually be visible to the user if they check. So for a normal user they usually wouldn't, but like it's not good from the security perspective. And for the cookies, it is automatically sent to server with HTTP request. It is not cookies are not something where we like keep that kind of data. So cookies, the next point is the use case. So it will actually makes it a lot easier for you. So use case, the local storage, we actually use it for storing some data, like we can use the cart details. If it's an e-commerce app, then you can the cart details, and also the preferences, shopping cart items, themes, like if it is a dark theme or a light theme, that things you can keep in the local storage. And when it comes to the session storage, you can temporarily store the form data, like if your form is divided into like different parts, various parts, then you can just put that information saved onto the session storage, so that it will keep there along in that same session. And the cookies is like storing authentication tokens. It's mainly purely used for sending the user sessions tokens or tracking some info. And examples would be like same as use cases. So local storage we usually use for the dark or light theme, and session storage we keep it for ongoing forms or something, and the cookies is just for maintain user login and state between browser sessions. So this is the brief of all these three things. So in our JavaScript to-do list right now, we are not making use of any of these storage items. So we will be using local storage because we don't want to lose the our task when we switch on to different browsers or when we come to the next day. So we will be using the local storage. And also one more thing, like we are using local storage right now, but when you are building a real app, so preferably you would not be relying on the local storage to save your data. You will actually be using a database. But since it's a JS pure playlist, that's why we are making use of this option, and also we are learning the local storage, how it will work for us. So moving on to the code. First, like we have 4 things in the local storage, and session storage is also same. Cookies is a bit different, and but if you want to learn like how it works in the session storage and how it works on the cookie, you can just leave a comment. I'll create a separate video on that, but in this video we will just go with the local storage. So I have like multiple locations. We were till now making just use of this all tasks array, and we were initializing it at the very top of our code. If we go above at the starting of our script, so this is where we were adding it. So let's just make two functions. One is the function. So there are majorly four methods just for the local storage. So there is one is the local storage dot get item, and local storage works in the key value pairs. So get item will get us the value of that particular storage key. So if I do tasks array, or let's just do it with all tasks, and one more thing is the set item. So set item will save the local storage, will save in all tasks, and here we need to define the tasks. So all tasks, and other one is local storage dot remove item. So it will just remove, same as the name says. So it will just remove that item value. Here we are defining the key, and the other is just the clear. So it will remove all the values of all the items, all the keys in the local storage. So this is just the local storage. And in the context of our to-do list app, let's create a function get all tasks from local storage. We will make it an arrow function. So for making it an arrow function, it's very easy. First we just initialize it. We are storing it in this variable, and we used const for adding it, and then this part we just do this brackets, and this curly braces just for writing the code. So for get all tasks, so which method will work for it? It will be this, because we are getting it, we are just taking everything. But and the other one would be, here we are getting all the tasks. The next thing that we would actually need the most for handling the task array would be, let's just copy paste this one, and instead of get, the next thing we would be doing is the set. So in this function we will set this item, and we will use this one, and we don't need these two for now, so let's just remove them. And yeah, that's it. But there is just a little bit of catch, and that is that while we have this array, so this is a JavaScript array or object, but when we want to save certain things to the local storage, there we cannot use the JavaScript object to store it. There we actually use a different format, that is the JSON string, and on that JSON string we have, like, we need to, if we want to save this array, then we want to do a little of processing to this JavaScript array in order to make it suitable for the local storage to store. So what we will do, suppose like wherever we were setting this array, we will be getting it as an argument, and to this all task we need to process, we need to make it suitable. So to make it suitable, there is just a function which is JSON dot stringify. So stringify converts the JavaScript object to a JSON string. So we will pass it here, and now this complete, we can store it again, and we can use a name JSON string, JSON task, maybe JSON all tasks. And now instead of using this all task directly, we will use this JSON all tasks because it's a JSON string. Okay, so we are taking the JSON, we are taking the normal array, and we just process it with the JSON stringify, and we convert it into a string. And if you want to see how a JSON string looks like, we can just do JSON stringify, and here you can see that it's a normal object, and we just pass it and we make it a JSON string. If I do it right yourself, then you can see what it just does. It will make all it will just add this double quotes to everything, to the name, to the keys, and to the values. So this is a kind of JSON string. Okay, so going back to the code, Now when we are just fetching the task, then also it will come in the JSON string, but now we need what we need it to be in the JSON object, we need to be in the JavaScript object. So how we then make it again the task, all task that we were using earlier. So here we are getting the string, and now there is one other function, that is JSON dot parse. So what it will do, it will take the JSON string and it will again reconvert it, and it will again convert it to a JavaScript object that we can use in our code. Okay, and so far so good. But the thing is, wherever we are doing this get, so here we are just parsing it, so we need to return it, because wherever we are doing it, we will return it. That's fine, but whenever we are setting it, we don't need a return thing, so it's fine. So let's now just see, wherever we are using this all task array, we need to change it with the two functions that we created. So we are using it in 7 times in our code. Let's take the get all tasks, and also one more thing, let's just see wherever we are using it. So here task, when we are submitting the task, there we are adding it and we are running this. So when we are adding it, okay, so at the time of this all task array, we will get all of the task from the local storage. Let's save it in all tasks. Fine. And then after taking it, we can push the new task object to this all task, and then what we need to do next, we need to save this, because first we are taking all the task, we are making change to those tasks, and we are pushing the new task that we add when submitting a new to-do list task, and now we will further need to save it. So for that we had a function set all tasks in local storage, but we also, here we are missing one thing, we also need to define, we also need to send the task array, so that it would process it and save it as a JSON string. So here we just send it. Fine, let's go to the next place we are using it. So in the show all task, we were making use of this. So let's do one thing, let's make it, we can make this all tasks, and we can see if we are getting any task array from here, then we can make a use of that filter task, because that was the thing because of which we added this. So let's suppose if we are getting anything from that filter function, and if it's not if it's there, then use that only. Otherwise what we can do, otherwise let's just take the get all tasks from local storage. I'll just explain it once I complete it. Okay, so this is done. So here in this function, what we were doing is that we were showing all tasks, but earlier, like whenever we are doing any filter, so we were passing that filtered task array, but like when there is no filter, there is no argument passed, we were just taking the all of the items of the array. But now we know that we are not making use of the variable in the code itself, we are using local storage for it. So now instead of passing that, what we are doing is that we are creating this all task, and if there is anything coming from the filter task, then take that, otherwise just take all from the local storage. So this is done, and here we also change that all tasks, so all tasks will be like made as per the condition, and then it will just take the all task and it will further process at the rows. Next we are using it here, so task table body add event listener. For this is, we are making a click. Okay, so this is an add event listener of click on the task table body. This is for that button when we are marking it as complete. Okay, so here also we can make that const all tasks, and we can take it from the get all task from the local storage, and instead of this all task array, we can use this all tasks, and that is coming directly from the local storage. And after we have set its status to 1, we also need to save it. So to save it, we will do set all tasks to local storage, and we need to further give it the array. Yeah, this is done. Let's see where else it is left now. Make status array. So here again, let's make an const all tasks. We will take it from the local storage. After taking it from the local storage, we will make a map of items, and this is all task. It's done. Here we are not making any changes, so it's not needed anything else. Okay, so here comes the filter task. In the filter task, earlier we were making the copy of the all tasks array. So now we have changed the approach. So we will create const all tasks, and here we will just do get all task from local storage, and then we will use this all task instead of the old approach. Are we left with any more? Yes, count all tasks. Let's just copy this instead of writing it again and again, and take this all task, add it here. And now, okay, so this is, we don't need it now anymore. Let's test it out on the browser. Made many changes in the code. Hopefully it works fine. Okay, and one more thing, like what if there is no task as for now? What if there is like it's not initialized and there is no task at the beginning phase? So for that case, let's see in the set get all task. So here, if there is any value in the local storage get item, we can run a condition. So if there is any value, then use it. Otherwise, let's use a simple array. So then in this case, it will not give us any error. Otherwise, it can give us the error. So also write this thing that if the all task is empty, in that case, if it's not empty, in that case use it. Otherwise, just a normal empty array. And now going to the browser, let's do one read books, add an item, then play with friends. Let's add it also. And okay, now if I refresh the tab, okay, it's not coming. Like, is there anything that we have missed? Yes, at the initial load of any page, we also need to add this, that we also need to show all tasks at the initial level. So because when the document is ready, when everything has the page loads, so initial phase, we also want to add it. Okay, so now it's working, and if I, doesn't matter how many times I refresh it, it will keep on coming. And complete course, I'll add it. If I just do refresh, it will not change. If I open one more tab with the same URL, again it's the same. So now we are actually having the data saved on to our browsers, and it is not going anywhere. So this is it for this video, and in the next video we will learn one other topic in the JS in 30 days series. If you are liking this content, please like and subscribe to this series, and stay tuned for the upcoming video. Thank you for watching and your support. Thank you.